Alright, so I know pusher style, the red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black. I'm not going to take these off because, well, that way I know the front of my frame. I guess it's not going to really matter though in the end. I just have to remember red, black, red, black, clockwise. But in order to get this camera out of here, you can't just shove it through any of these holes. I've tried. I mean, you might be able to if you want to bend the frame, but I'm pretty sure I tried that. But even if you could, you want your wire to be on. You want your MIPI cable wire to be on the inside of the frame anyway, so it doesn't get caught on anything. So I'm just gonna do it this way because I know. But yeah, these screws are so small. I'm gonna put them on this little yellow tray here. But yeah, the Acro B75 pusher DJI 04 Lite version is pretty great for me. I often wonder what the wide kit would look like on it. But I haven't even tried the wide kit yet. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to real soon. I know Banggood. I've never ordered anything off there either, but I did just recently. I think it was Banggood. But I got that Rate 20, I think Rate 2S. Yeah, I'm gonna take these off. Hopefully this doesn't take me all day. I also still gotta get a tripod, but I've been looking and I've been looking. They all seem the same to me. But why the price differentiation? Differentiation. Who said that? Yeah, take these little fuckers out. I'm on my hands, I've been plastering the wall. So those two are undone. I think I might need the electric power tool for this. Pretty sure Roto Riot or Get FPV. I think they might have it, or even Newbie Drone. But I haven't even looked yet. I'm satisfied with using my hands. But get to the point where I might need a microscope because my eyesight's shit in the bed. Seems like my eyesight is getting worse and worse. But I'm supposed to wear glasses. I just break them all the time. Yeah. Get those little screws out. Kind of want the orientation. I know when I put it back together, I want the USB cable in the back. But also when you put it together, obviously you want to put the flight controller, allo, on the top. On this drone, the flight controller is actually fastened from the top, but also on the bottom is where the goods are, the DJI 04, which is fastened in its own little casing. But this thing is pretty cool. I mean, if you wanted to lose weight on this thing, I guess you could eliminate that. I mean, I would always want the TPU, depending on what kind of job you're doing, perhaps. But this little TPU here seems to be golden for me. Even though I do break a lot of cameras, but I fly a lot when I can, and I do stupid shit, obviously. But all right, so nor here nor there. Do I have to take the flight controller off to squeeze that through? Yes, because I could take it off by the MIPI cable, like I said, but I don't want to screw with it if I don't have to. I don't want to undo a brand new camera. And the sad thing is, I bought a MIPI cable from an off-brand company. I forget what it was, but I put it on the wrong damn. I thought I put it on the wrong shit that I was working on. So I didn't want to take it off that and put it on this when I have a new camera. I just created more work for myself, that's all. But I didn't want to take the flight controller off, but I'm going to have to. And in order for me to take the flight controller off, instead of taking the propellers off, I'm just going to undo the motors by hand. You can use tweezers too. It's remember, red, black, red, black. But I mean, you can tell by the props anyway. So I'm gonna set that shit aside. So now we're down to the antenna. Looks like, I think it's the BT antenna, which I love. The only thing I don't like about these, sometimes you get them and they're a little worn out right there, or just from bending in and out. But when I got this, it was zip tied pretty tight, which I like. This drone is probably the best for me. Anyway, I often wonder why they don't put a BT antenna in the front though, instead of both these. You know, you got the BT antenna coming from the front of the flight controller to the back. Then you got the other one coming to the back too, which is how it came. I tried to go all the way down my street, which is a half a mile. On the turnaround is where I got into trouble. But also, I think I wasn't using 150 hertz. I think I was using 200. But I wonder if I could just put this in the front. I'm pretty sure I can. But then, in everything that I read, they say it might disturb the camera. Range power. Let's see, output. So enough talking here. I'm gonna take this off first, and this is a different one thing I don't like. And now I gotta use this stupid little Allen wrench. Oh shit. Oh no, those are screws. Alright, those are screws. That's a screw. Now you don't want to push down on your bench, that flight controller. So I try to keep it in my hand. But that's a longer screw with a washer-like fitting built into it. Or just keeps it from slipping through the plastic TPU. So those two longer screws. I thought I had to use the Allen. You take that out, take that out. This one's giving me a hard time. Maybe I need a different screw. If I can find one. Alright, yeah, so the screwdriver's better. But yeah, I still gotta solder my 1S Meteor 75 Pro version. Battery cable came off on me. I often wonder if I got cheap solder. Removing the solder for me is the hardest part. Alright, so we got this off. I'm just not seeing this screw coming out. Alright. The screw didn't want to come out. We're just gonna leave that screw right in there. Bada bing, bada boom. But as I'm looking at it, now I get a better view. Hopefully you do too. But from here, I'm gonna undo this antenna. Only because I know I gotta take the flight controller out, but I don't want to take this antenna out of its place. So sometimes you can use your finger like that. Make sure it's out the way. But see, these are different size screws on the flight controller. On the flight controller, they seem to be smaller. The smaller screws. The ones on the bottom are a little bit longer. Well, 4 times longer. That's the problem. Screws bouncing around. I gotta put these on the plastic or I'm gonna lose some shit. And then I'm gonna lose my mind. Alright. Okay, so I guess the more times you do this, the better you're gonna get at it anyway. So now that I know the orientation of the flight controller itself, so as long as I put this in the back with the antenna, obviously I know that's the front, and obviously I know red, black. But what else do I need to know? I don't know. I think I'm gonna pull this out slowly. And then I'm going to unplug here. But in order to get that camera out, you just gotta lift it up and drop it on through. Take this antenna off. Yeah, I don't really see any damage on this MIPI cable, so I think it just one too many hard crashes, which you see the TPU I use. I don't use any protection on my shit. In real life too. But seriously, I don't see any tears in that MIPI cable. But what I'm going to do is set this whole damn system aside. That way I can maybe do some, well, I can diagnose it maybe properly later. But I wish I had some sticky tabs where I can label it proper. So I'm going to set that one aside. I'm going to grab this one. But yeah, it seemed to be going through cameras a lot. So maybe I do need to get some protective TPU. Or thinking about the wide. Or it's just the MIPI cables that get me every time, it seems. Alright, let's stop bullshitting. I got shit to do. I got shit to do. I ain't got time. But we got that. Instructions, serial number. Nobody ever uses that. These silica gels, I heard, don't throw them away, even though it says you can actually use them for other shit. But anyway, let's get this thing hooked back up. Like, I've been droning for like, I don't know, maybe 2 years now, off and on, because I've been broke for so long. But I keep getting, like, I never keep that on my camera. I mean, I probably should, but I never keep that on my camera. And this, I don't use it. Maybe I should, but I like the fact that it comes with all the damn rubber grommets. But I suppose I could put this in the case. I could put that in there. But am I still going to be able to use these? Not really sure. I'm not really sure. I know that. Well, I mean, once you get it in there, there's nothing for the back, so it doesn't protect the MIPI cord. What does it protect? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to use it again. But maybe I'll use it in the future as soon as I figure out what exactly I could use. Is it supposed to protect the camera? This part of my camera never gets broken. It's that MIPI cord, it seems. But yeah, this MIPI cord looks nice and fresh compared to the other one. So yeah, I'm going to put that back there. I'm going to put this back down like that. This is going to go on top. Remember, with the USB in the back, you want to plug this back in before you even get going. And then you want to squeeze the camera through before you pop those screws in. But I guess when you put that through like that, I'm going to make sure. Well, shit. I think it's supposed to be the gold downward. As long as the gold is down, you just want to squeeze it on like that. Now, I would pause it and activate it. See, like whenever you go to the DJI app, you have to activate it, then you have to shut everything down, then you have to go back and update it. I can never seem to do it in one try, and I don't have a tripod. My main goal today was just to take this apart and put it back together. I'm going to update it by myself right before I leave this house because I'm pretty eager to fly. So I'm going to put this back together if I can properly. So if it goes like that, this is going to go in the back. How do I know it's back? Because I left the antennas attached to my frame. But before I push this down, I really need to pull this camera up through carefully and gently. But one thing I might do is actually use some E6000 before I go out, which I never normally do. I'm afraid I might use that E6000 and put that glue somewhere where it don't belong. That's what she said. Alright, so that's going to go right there. That's going to go up here. Make sure my little antenna... You know what? For the hell of it, maybe I am going to flip this little antenna around. Just to see what it does. Will you get longer range with that one in the front and that one in the back? Will it even work? I don't know. But it should. And will that thing be in my camera's view? And will my propellers suck it in? I'm going to keep it right where it was at until I do some more research. I think the Savage Bee pusher has two T antennas in the front, but they're off to the side, away from the propellers. But yeah, now we can push this down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Alright, so I got my camera up in there where I want it. But where's that antenna? Oh shit. So my antenna wire, we want, see, I would have never zip tied that like that right there, but I'm not a professional. I just started doing this. But I don't like the way it's pinched off and cornered, almost bent. But this wire, I feel like should be on the top side coming in. And maybe I screwed that up. But I actually don't even want to undo that because of the zip tie. So I guess I'm just gonna pop this back on. Trying to figure out how that wire got down there. This wire needs to come up. Damn, my tweezers are... This wire seems to have gotten lost. Lost in the sauce. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, it's so small. So now I can plug in right over here, but shit. Guess we'll do it like this. Easy to take it apart. Putting it back together. I want that snap crackle back on. With the bumper clap. It's the little things, huh? Well, there you have it, folks. I think I don't know. The freak. Why won't that go in there? Well, shit. Let's see if I have another antenna. I don't. Let me put the antenna that they just gave me in this bag in there, huh? How about that? Take this one out. Put the new one in. Do I got them backwards? No. Got that antenna there. This antenna has to go on there. Alright, well maybe this thing isn't as simple as I thought. What the fuck? Why won't that go on there? Oh, man. That's I know I got another antenna around here somewhere. But is it the right one? Well, Houston, I'm having a problem with this antenna. I'm gonna have to cut this shit short. I know it. Antenna. Mhm. Antenna. That little one. Wow. Well, I see the problem. I was trying to put the wrong antenna. Looks like this one goes on the top. Alright, so this one's got to go anyway because it's for the DJI. But it's got to come out through the back. So I am going to stick it up through here. Shit, I don't remember the orientation of the board on that, though. I'm gonna have to go back to my... Alright, so this is facing up. This antenna has to be plugged into the top. And then the DJI antenna will slip through the back. So let's see if we get the proper UFO on here. I think I was trying to put the bigger UFO on this little spot here, and that was wrong. That is right. We're on there. Okay. Stay calm, stay calm. So we're plugged in there. Now we just gotta get the right orientation on this. So if this is down like that, I'm gonna shove that antenna up through there like that. Bring it around here. Everything looks a lot easier than it really is. Actually, then you just, since I don't want this onto the bent so much, so I'm gonna make sure I set it right here, and then I'm gonna make sure the harness is out my way. I think that's the proper way to do it. I guess in order to sink these back on properly, I'm gonna take the little gummies off. Slip them on in. There. Gummies. Blueberry gummies. Alright. Once you get these in, then you should be able to that MIPI cable. Seems like if I put this on this way, the MIPI cable, this is how I really, wow, I'm getting confused here. Okay, so that's the back. MIPI cable, where is it? That's going on like that. This is gonna be slipped. Alright, so it is. I'm gonna see if I can put it on like this. I'm really trying to be careful of the MIPI. Okay, so the MIPI's right there. Back. In the front. I'm gonna have that right there. But now I got that dealer S wire coming out straighter in the back than it was before. But damn, put that on there. So I guess that's on there. I guess to line this part up properly too, you want to make sure your little MIPI, make sure you can get to your DJI USB, right? Which is, where is mine? Oh shit, see mine's gonna be right there. It should be fine. But that opening on the TPU has to line up with the so I don't tighten nothing down. But like I'm noticing, get these two screws in. Something is preventing this thing from going all the way in. Patience is a virtue. All right. Now I'm going to just try to make them even on each side, not extremely tight. Like so. Now I'm pretty sure I want to stick this antenna in its little TPU. Oh, this one. Damn. I don't know if this one's gonna. Maybe that's why it came up from the bottom. That rubber piece. I guess I'm gonna find out here in a second. You know we want that in the back. See if I can slip it right under there. This wire. Right in the back with it. And these, you gotta put on underneath. Well, shit. I think we might be in business like that. But in my case, I try not to think too much. All right. Once you get these on. Ah, shit. Oh, okay. I think I'm still good. Once you get these on, then we plug the motors in, then we put the carbon fiber back on. And then we make sure the camera's mounted to the TPU in the frame. Sometimes getting these lined up is a problem. But we're in there. This one keeps popping up. Maybe I should have used the longer screws on this side and the shorter ones on that side. Or maybe I'm just not in the hole. There's that magnetic shit. But this shit is so tedious. You'd think it'd be so quick. Because it's so small. But it's such a little bitch. But I'm not liking what I see. Maybe that's because the flight control is not seated all the way. Why won't that go all the way down? Is my antenna in my way? No. That one's down. That one's down. Let me loosen this one. I don't even think this one's hitting on anything. Oh, the gummy's damaged. Okay. Pretty good, pretty flat, not perfect. But good enough for what I'm doing. No, I'd say it's pretty, just about perfect. So now, I need to put the carbon fiber frame on now that I see everything looks like it's in good position except for these wires right down here. Shove them in a little bit more. Damn, that red wire. Literally stuck in between. But that yellow wire now is... Alright, I'm gonna find my tweezers. I think I'm gonna... If I can't use my tweezers, then I'm just gonna... I think I'm gonna have to loosen it up. Loosen that up. Maybe I can position them wires a little bit better. You know what I think? I think you gotta flip this frame over the wire though. Okay, I think we're good. Good there. Now, make sure I got that camera set aside over there. This one's something different. Now where I put my little frame, where I put the little carbon fibers. All right here. And just stick this on. Now we know this has got to be like, shit, do I even have enough? Damn, I don't think I got enough slack for the camera. Oh, looks like I might have to it's too low. I have to reposition the, I need more slack, so see if I can take this bottom side off. Because I think I gotta turn the whole thing. I think, because the MIPI cable end is right here, I gotta rotate the board. I gotta rotate the board. I don't know. I'm guessing it's a 60 millimeter MIPI cord. I don't really know now. 60 or 90 is my guess. I don't know what they come with. Obviously, the littlest one, 60. I think the Acrobeat came with the 60 millimeter MIPI cable. I just have the board oriented a little bit off. See, one little mistake on these things, it really kills you. You know the good thing about these little FPV drones are, though? Without the camera setup, you get them rather cheaply. Well, nothing's cheaply, but for fun and for experimentation and for footage, real good footage. For, the camera's 100 something, 130 bucks, 120 bucks, but you can get the drone itself set for DJI 04 Lite, or and also ELRS. I think for 140 bucks I've seen on there. Okay. Can I do this? Can I do this? We just gotta rotate this that away. Now we're good. It's making me think I gotta take the flight controller off to get this thing in really proper. But I mean, those wires in there are crunched pretty good. I feel like in order to get this thing on properly, just gonna go like that. But now that I'm racing, I've got to get on this other drone because I ordered my HD. I ordered some goggles, HD0 goggles for racing, and well, I got a couple of drones that I need to work on. 5-inchers. I was gonna get like a little 3.5, 4, or even 2.5-inch to start, but I figure why spend that money when I'm so brand new? I can just put together what my buddies did. My buddies, I like to say they're my buddies. My pilot friends, I'd rather say that. My pilot friends put together a drone for me, so I might as well use that. And then I found a drone. What am I doing? I'm putting this thing on before I'm putting the TPU on. Nobody was gonna say shit. Okay, well, I gotta get this screw out. Now I think we're good. Now. Well, there's already a damn screw in there. But I do that twice? Did I do that twice? Yes, I did. Boring. Do you know what? We all gotta go through this shit. Try to go diagonal on the screws, that way make sure all the posts are lined up proper. Like that one's on there. This one's crooked. See it right there? It's not on there. Yeah. Now we're on there. Waiting for somebody to bitch me out. Alright, there we go, there we go. Bam, 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 bam. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel like that's not even in right. Because it's not. Damn it. I put the TPU on backwards. But you know what? It's gonna work. As long as I can get to my USB Yeah, I can get to my USB right there. But next time I take it apart, I gotta make sure I put it on proper. Alright, so that's the back. That's the front. I'm gonna let that sit there. So now we're gonna go red, black, red, black. I guess you could plug these in afterwards, but for now, screwing just to get this camera head out my way, I am gonna fasten it. Also, just to make sure I got what I need for slack in the MIPI. Damn, I guess I did use that little thing. Trying to figure out how I had that camera even on. What the bomba clot? I need to look something up on my computer real quick. I need a picture. So I gotta put this thing on in order for where is my little damn. What I'm looking for is my TPU, my other TPU for that. This one doesn't have slots to screw into. This flywheel TPU does. I know I got them laying around here. Just don't panic. Just don't panic. But I mean, obviously I was using one because I was flying both those drones. I wonder if I could pause it and take a break. This is actually what I was looking for. I need this flywheel. But I had it in this case over here. I'm in the midst of organizing all my stuff that I've been accumulating. But yeah, this little flywheel jig is very important. TPU, whatever you want to call it. But I don't want to. I guess if I had. Alright, to get this out, you gotta pull this apart. And you pull these apart slowly because you don't want to break it, but pretty sure most of my cameras are good. I just have to straighten them out. But anyway, to put this back in like that without breaking it. Well, I kind of slipped right in there nicely. Now I think to protect these MIPI cords in the future, it may not always be the one on the top like people think. It's when you crash, I think that MIPI cord right there smears right up against the frame. Somehow that needs to be rectified. But I guess once you get good enough at flying, no frickin' worries anyway, huh? But it's money. And to get that money, you gotta deal with some evil people. Bada bing, bada boom. But no, putting these together kind of humbles me a little bit. You learn something. Good hand-eye coordination. Just a good hobby in general. It's a sport too. I mean, I started sweating the other day just playing the simulation. I am a little nervous about going on the real track because, damn, it's hard to remember a track. You know, on the simulation, you get the damn markers and stuff. I don't think you get those over in the field. Check it out. So that looks like it's on straight. But is it? Quad's a little lopsided. So those two screws are too tight. There we go. Even Steven. But yeah, I want to set my angle about, I guess I'm not worried about my angle yet. I gotta screw these damn motors on. Okay, let me make sure I got everything where I want it, where I need it. The battery's gonna go across that way, so I guess this can be in the back, or I should put it on the side. Damn, I don't remember where I had the battery. I don't think I had the battery coming out. Yeah, I think it was coming out the back or the side. But I'm pretty sure either way would be good because the battery leads on the cables on the batteries are long enough. Alright, red, black, red, black. Grab this red one. See if you can line it up. I guess the easiest, it might be easier to plug them in first. But nothing's easy about these little critters. First you gotta figure out which way to plug them in. Okay, when you plug them in, the metal pins should be facing you. On this, on the motor plug, make sure the metal pins are facing you. But once you get that situated, what you want to do is pop it in like that, like it's hot, hot, hot. I'm gonna try to get one of these motors fastened so I can relax a little bit, not hold this thing. Now to get these on, really a pain. Like there is a little groove. Sometimes it's easier just to put one little screw in there first. I act like I know what I'm doing. Alright, maybe put that in there first and get that top of that triangle there. Maybe I do need to take the propellers off. Maybe that's what's getting in my way. Shouldn't be though. Sounds like an excuse. No, I guess the easiest thing is put your finger on this and then bring your motor to the screw like that. Then you hold it and then you screw it. But even then, didn't work. I lost the hole. But obviously those you don't want too tight either, just tight enough. Or at least in my opinion, or you break the plastic, the carbon fiber. how to get that motor lined up. I gotta use my eyes. See how small these screws are. I gotta get my ass to the gym. I've been sitting around here for too long. Let's go. Bam, one in there. I'm gonna go fly this thing, but I gotta charge my batteries. With food. Alright, so that's in there like flint. And like flint. A little extra slack there on the motor. Could have twisted it up a little bit more, I suppose. That could get caught on something. So don't do what I did. Make sure you twist that motor so the wires aren't sticking up above, because if you do crash, instead of breaking just a camera, you will break the motor too. Alright, let me go to the next motor. Red, black. Make sure the metal is facing you. Right up through here. Plug it in. Pop it on. Take it in. Like that. Gotta go lefty to righty, righty to lefty. Ambidextrous. Ambidextrous. Alright. Got that one on there. And I get the red one over here. Metal facing me when I pop these plugs in. Otherwise you bend the prongs inside. Now see, to shorten this wire, I could just twist this up a little bit more. Thing is, you don't want to twist too much either, because the way it came is pretty damn good. It's pretty perfect. So I'm trying to put it back the way it came. I respect the builders. I respect the artist. But if there's anybody watching this, I do appreciate it. And if there's anybody peeking in on me, I do appreciate it. If anybody learns something, I really appreciate it. If anybody just likes to listen to me talk, that's cool too. Get the screw in there. And you bring it to. Sometimes you can use the Allen wrench to move this motor mount just slightly over a little bit. If you don't have tweezers, or if you just need a way to get it there. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Red, black, red, black. And we're all plugged in. So once it's put together, the only thing I have to do is plug it into the DJI consumer drone apps, or whatever it is, the DJI app there, consumer series. I usually sign into my account to activate it, but to update it, I think you can update it before you even activate it, or vice versa. Deodor. But yeah, that's about where I want the angle to my camera too. Everything looks pretty, I mean, a little too much of an angle, but that's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good, pretty symmetrical. The only thing I noticed, you know, I got a black screw on that side and a silver screw on that side, but also the MIPI cable is pulling this camera over slightly that way, and this is just the TPU that's just bent up a little bit. So that's why you can move these things slightly too if you need to. Honestly, just keep them right there. Then I'm going to tighten it down. But to me, this is the lightest TPU right there for a camera. But I mean, obviously, if you're racing around and shit, you're going to get bashed up pretty quick. Alright, well, I didn't get the T antenna in the front. We are put back together. One more motor here. And I got to stretch my body out, do some exercises, charge some batteries while I do all that, and perhaps while I'm sitting on the couch doing one of my things I do, I can activate and update. But it is a process. But this was a binding fly. It still is. It still is. I like my little binding flies. But damn, there's just so much to know about these things and the evolution of them. You know, back when I was a kid, I was like, how come? I used to question, why don't they have cameras on them? But then I got the Sima, I think. The Sima quadcopter, the line of sight. I think that was my first quadcopter like 10 years ago. But I stopped following the evolution of the sport. I didn't really know it was even a big thing then, and maybe it wasn't. It sounds like it was just getting off the ground, really. But it sounds like something that me and my friends would have been doing as kids, or at least a couple of my friends anyway. The other ones, we were doing something else. But all right. Now we're doing this cool drone stuff. Gotta thank the fellas before us. The veterans before us. They know best. So it's good to listen. Just making sure they're all tight. Not too tight. Alright. Mission accomplished. But in hindsight, I should have used the new gummies. But I'll put them off to the side. Into my gummy controller here. These screws were for something else. These two antennas are still good, even though they're beat up. Like this antenna, I wasn't having any problems with these. They're just beat up. And this, I need to leave a note on it because I think this camera. I think this camera's still good. I did replace. Yeah. I don't know what I did actually, so I'm gonna hold my thought. But this has to be diagnosed. Pretty sure it's a MIPI cable. But if it's just a MIPI cable, that would just be grand. That would be grand. But yeah, she's back together now. To my exercises, because I'm a paraplegic. And then I'm gonna charge all that shit and get it off the floor because I can't stand shit on my floor. I don't like doing the bend and snap. But I hope you had fun, because I know I didn't. Thanks for watching.